friends, your family, your neighbors, your congregation members. Share us with everybody. We're here for you and them.
So we'll be looking forward to keeping this conversation going, keeping y'all interested in thinking and meditating about what is your New Year's resolution. And I want to talk to you about some of these presents, like the PlayStation 5, what I feel like could be creative or what could come out of that. So please tune back and enjoy the music. Sit back and get some drinks. Get everything out. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the Transitional Changes Mission podcast show with your host, King Summers.
And your host, Queen Summers. And if you like listening to the show and you're enjoying yourself, please share us with your friends, your family, your neighbors, and also like us on Facebook at Transitional Changes Mission
podcast show. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate that. But just like what we left out on, I had those 2 questions. And those questions was, what is your plans for New Year's? And I left off on the creativity, what I think, not knocking down the PlayStation 5, but I know they got a lot of sales off of it. A game console is very in tune to the modern days now. Even when I was upcoming, I said before that I was a gamer myself. And as I reflect back, I wish I could have hit the books a lot more than playing, I think it was Super Mario, Sega Genesis. I had them all, man. And I enjoyed them. I'm not reflecting back on them as a bad thing, but as I try to promote a change, I know a lot of parents ran out there to go get them, and your child probably is consuming 23 hours a day playing those new games that you got them. They are very enjoying, and I know you got that enjoyment of the smile that they wanted. But try to mix it up. I think they came out with the Wii, and I do not know too much info because all my kids now is out of the PlayStation settings right now. I got 2 more coming up.
I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Yes, because I'm going to try to persuade them to keep your heads in the book, or even if they do, what I advocate to try to promote the parents or to a child or teenager that is in there, if you're really into it, be protective. I know that you're playing, don't play too close to that 95-inch television. Don't try to consume your whole day playing. It should be for your guardians to try to set a time to play. Especially with these times of Duke Energy or any power company is waiting on it.
Well, what are the options? Some may ask. The answer is as simple as seeking opportunities in adversity. Opportunity, though, is a word often perceived subjectively. It varies in spectrum and perception. To the wildebeest, an opportunity consists of seeking and finding a water hole after an extensive migration. To the crocodile, it is the deliverance of a meal after a long and patient wait. While this holds good in the animal kingdom, were a human to follow this path, he would be dubbed as an opportunist. The idea is to establish a balance, to work cohesively for the benefit of not just oneself, but for the holistic upliftment of society, of the environment, and its preservation for posterity. Let the learnings of 2020 not go in vain. Let us all stop, look around, and reflect on the rights and wrongs. A calm, thoughtful, and logical mind is the first step on the ladder of good beginnings. Without it, one would fail to see the proverbial elephant in the room. Your thoughts convert to words, decisions, and actions. In turn, this will charter and pave the road for the life you choose. You owe it to yourself to reflect and make correct, mindful choices. Following self-reflections or introspection comes resilience. Grit being the other word, like a sailor's resilience in a stormy sea to reach the shore. One must look for avenues and tools to make the path one treads easier. A solution-centric, far-sighted approach to situations in life will make your journey easier. And then, reawakening or regeneration, impossible to achieve without the prior 2 steps.
Those 2 steps has been done on Christmas Day if you got that PlayStation 5. With your kids, both of y'all can participate in the new creativity and enhance your child to get into the mechanical or the manufacturing or the programming or the game tournaments. There is a lot of funds that can be attained. By you promoting to your kids of them playing that video game and you see the excitement of them, to help them know that they got the mind state to make a better game out of it as they grow into the technology world. As we notice as the parents, we won't be left behind with this movement if you stay in tune with the movement.
So it's like reawakening is a broad-based word. It could mean the regeneration of health, change of mindset and ideology, reacting to a situation differently than you typically would, and so on. So it's just taking the old, making it into new, and making a transition to a change. That's what we are all about. Transitional Changes Mission. That is the mission, to change, to transition first before you make that change.
Yes, and transition from the past. I mean, you reflect back from your past. Now that you got kids and they want that PlayStation 5, I could have started out to say the negative things about the PlayStation 5, but I started reflecting back what I was doing at that age, at 14, 13. I think it goes all the way to 10 now. So as you sit there and look at them playing that game for long consuming times, help them get great at it. And tell them that there are tournaments. And as I noticed, seeing one time when I was flicking through the channel, it's a $100,000 prize for the one that wins. And also you can promote to them to be game programmer. And you can start that from the age 10 as they start to grasp on to what path they going into. You will be able to realize what is consuming their time. And if that's that PlayStation 5, tell them the creative things that can earn them financial security of getting into a career of that, and the importance of spreading the time span. Meaning that if you see what I just explained about what you can try to put an input to your child, if that doesn't work and you see them still being consumed by that game, as a guardian or whoever it might be, try to spread the knowledge. There is more to it than just a game. There's a lot of more things that you can teach your child to help them find their path. And like I was just stating about a game programmer, or you can pull out more books, or the mix of the gift that you gave them was some knowledgeable things to get them to where they just won't consume their time with playing a video game. Because there are negative things that comes with a child or a person consuming themselves with that game, but there are some positive things that can come out of it. And one of those positive things that if you spread the time and span of it, you can help them guide their way to a new path.
That's right. That's right. And I hope as you're listening to our show this evening that you are inspired, you're motivated, you're determined for the year that is getting ready to become 2021.
Yes. That's the second thing that we want to close out with a little bit before we get into knowledge about what we're going into the next show with. We was asking about what is your plans, or start to write a plan out, or even write to us if you need help, or if you like to spread your goals to tcmissionspeaks@gmail.com. With that said, I like to speak on some of the things that we should not go into in 2021. And we can need to start working on that right now. With all the media promoting or your surrounding areas or environments of a lot of grieving, sorrow, a lot of negative news putting out in your local cities, meditate about taking that all in, building a wall on all that negative, and crossing that bridge to a positive way of thinking. And that can exclude the energy of fear. Cannot walk into year 21 with fear. That fear is connected to the pandemic. Yes, it is here, but do not let it consume you. Find a way to turn it positive ways of thinking with your environment that you are surrounded with.
Remain optimistic. Have hope. Have patience. Be faithful to your religion or your creator. Just know that the sun is still shining. You have a common denominator in Transitional Changes Mission Incorporated. And we wish you and your family a wonderful, safe, and prosperous new year.
Yes, we do. And boy, I tell you, with our show being on that Wednesday, December the 30th, December the 31st, which is New Year's Eve, we really appreciate everybody sharing us and listening to us. But I tell you, you would want to tune in on Wednesday, December the 30th. We will tell about our goals with Transitional Changes Mission for the year 2021 to inspire people to change the goal paper that's on your wall to the new goals paper or calendar or planner. Be in tune with that planner and keep it influenced. That's the whole purpose of Transitional Changes, to influence people on a positive note, to close the gap of communication with yourself, with your neighbor, with your city, with your nation, countries, or continent. It's all global of the Transition Changes Mission.
And together